and let us all do we can to build a better future. This is on our next segment. This is happening here in the city of Chicago, and has to deal with the prosecutor who lied about Adam Toledo. Says he was uninformed. Daniel, this is your story. So, I think it's fair for you to bring our audience in a little bit more.
So this has to do with the story. By the way, you should check out our Chicago Corner channel. They're going to be doing a lot more coverage. Kid is actually doing something on it later today at 8. So go check out at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, that police will do this sort of thing so that when something comes out, they've already poisoned the well. In this case, the big thing that everyone was talking about was, well, he had a gun and it was pointed at the police, and so the cop had no choice but to kill this 13-year-old in warm blood. I guess not cold blood, but warm. And then the video came out, and it turns out that kid wasn't holding a gun. In fact, he was complying 100% with the officer when he was shot. And so if most people lied about that, and again, in a flip circumstance, they would get hit with perjury charge or something. But if you do that in America, if you do that and you're defending the police and the powerful, well, it's like, ooh, my bad. When I told the judge that he had a gun and all this was like this, and it turns out I was lying. It's not lying. Let's take a look at the video.
It appears from the video we showed you that he may have dropped it a second before. Now, WGN Investigates has a rare admission from the state's attorney that one of its prosecutors may have mischaracterized a key detail in the case. During a bond hearing for the 21-year-old man who was with Adam Toledo that night he was shot, Assistant State's Attorney Jim Murphy implied to the judge that Toledo had a gun in his right hand when the officer fired the fatal shot. Well, now a spokesperson for State's Attorney Kim Fox tells us an attorney who works in this office failed to fully inform himself before speaking in court. Prosecutors also said Toledo's hand tested positive for gunshot residue, indicating that he had fired a gun earlier.
And such a tough day for everyone.
I love how in America, the land of the Second Amendment, you can be like, yes, but did you know that he shot a gun in America? Oh, guilty of it. They lied. They lied about him having a gun in his hand when he was shot. They lied, maliciously lied, to poison the well so that the first thing everyone heard was, oh, well, he was a 13-year-old, but he had a gun and he was pointing at the cops. And that circulates. That's the first thing anyone hears about this, is that outcome. And so when the video comes out, people aren't as interested in looking at the video because, as far as they know, he had a gun. So why do we have to look at the video? It's a pretty sad video. I don't want to hurt myself. But if you watch the video, doesn't have a gun. Apparently not a crime, though, if you are protecting the wealthy and powerful.
I have watched the video. Daniel has watched the video. A few of our colleagues within independent media across the board, can name them all, have seen the video as well. Everyone here in Chicago is in an uproar and angry about the behavior of the CPD. In watching the video, you see the officer drive his car fast, knock some random civilian out of the way. If you watch a full 9-minute video of the body cam, knock some dude out of the way. Chases after the kid. The kid, Adam Toledo, throws the gun. He doesn't have it in his hands.
Also, the cop has a strobe light on, which makes it kind of hard to see what's happening.
Yes. And then when the kid raises his hands up, he is shot.
Yeah.
His hands were up, and he gets shot. This is quite clearly not the story that was presented to us. And I remember watching the mayor's live stream yesterday before at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time was when the footage was made public. The mayor was saying, I cannot confirm or deny. Mayor Lori Lightfoot was saying this. And Mayor Lori Lightfoot, your indecision to remain neutral. On the one hand, I do understand. But on the other hand, you got to come clean and say the facts. It would have been better, she said.
If he had a gun, do you think Lightfoot would have made the same answer?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Lightfoot should have said the facts that were presented to us are wrong and just been truthful right then and there. But if you have a mayor that's willing to cover up and even lie, or even not even lie, pretend to feign ignorance by saying, well, you'll have to see the video. I ask everyone to be calm. Why are you asking people to be calm, Mayor Lori Lightfoot? A little boy, 13 years old, was shot. And of course, there's going to be people commenting on social media saying, "Well, he was out at 2:30 p.m. or 2:30 a.m.
So we should kill him
wait,
then. Okay,
oh,
it.
he's part of a
Yeah.
gang or anything else like that."
He's part of a gang. We should kill him. Then.
Here's the thing. The reason why we have such a big problem in this country is because we have politicians who are Democrat and Republican cutting funds for schools, cutting funds for community centers. A lot of areas are being gentrified. There's lack of economic opportunities. So when you create an environment where everyone has to struggle to survive, you're going to have situations like this. And then, of course, thanks to the war on drugs, you have cops on edge all the time who are also just as corrupt. This is a sick system. Adam Toledo didn't need to die. Okay? His hands were up. His hands were up and he was shot. Now, I believe that people can turn their lives around. I don't know what kind of life Adam Toledo would have lived. I mean, it would have been nice to see if he could actually live his life to adulthood.
It would have been nice if the schools had been open for a long time. It would have been nice if the meal programs had been functioning. It would have been nice if a lot of things had happened. You know, maybe a good example would be that if a cop says, put your hands up, and you do it, you don't shoot them. That's a nice thing you can do. But in America, cops' lives are worth more than people's lives. So if a cop is scared, and we've already talked about this, if a cop feels scared in America legally, if they walk into a family room and there's a family watching TV on the couch together, all the cop has to do is feel scared, and they can just shoot all of them.
Yeah.
Just how it works in America, because we're reasonable. And then, of course, what the news will do is they'll dig up anything with the police help, because they have access to those records. They'll dig up anything. Oh, well, that dad, he smoked weed one time. The daughter had some C's. The son one time punched someone at school. He was clearly a bully. And the wife, she enabled all this other stuff to happen. That's exactly, it's character assassination. If you kill a cop, every single cop in a 10-mile radius is coming gunning for you immediately. And you are either killed or you are put away forever. You shoot a black church up, cops will get you food. That's the way it is. And people, and then the thing is that gets me, that I've never understood is, why do they always, across the entire country, say, we have a few bad apples? Have you ever heard that full phrase? It's not few bad apples, and you take them out, and then you're done. No, a few bad apples spoil the bunch. They're already spoiled.
Yeah, because
you're just backing each other up.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
It's gross. I also want to point out, E. Heller mentioned this, $280 million in COVID relief funds went to the Chicago Police Department, not the communities.
Yeah. Remember, on top of all this, they get their unions allow them to have things that you wouldn't even get as a civilian. So if you are part of a crime scene and you shoot someone, and most of the time what the police do, they'll bring you in. You don't know any information. They say, what happened? Tell us what happened. What did the police get to do under union contract everywhere in the country? They get to look at the evidence, look at the surveillance footage, talk to other people around it. They have a few days to collect their thoughts. And then once they do it, then they can give their testimony as to what happened. Everything. The prosecutors work together. They're given every opportunity available. And this 13-year-old was not given a second.
All right. I'm going to give the final note to this story because we do have to move on and start doing our other work as well. Number one, if you haven't seen it, and I know, look, I'm not a fan of Cuomo, Chris Cuomo or anything like that, but he did have a 9-minute interview with the Chicago Police Union president.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he's commending the actions of the officer, calling him
if
heroic.
There's anyone
which
that
gross.
needs to be destroyed in America, it's police unions. They don't deserve unions.
Number two, shout out to Lee Camp because he was basically quoting something that you have said before, that, you know, barbers go through more schooling than it takes for a cop.
Yeah.
So your barber has to stay in school longer to get their license than it takes to be a cop in the United States of America. And we are going to end it right there. Rest in peace, Adam Toledo. I'm so sorry for your loss.